good morning or afternoon, it may be evening, wherever you are around the world. We just want to remind you, you have greatness inside of you. Welcome back to another great video of the NHL Flashback series with the hockey coach guru, Coach Frenchy. Today, we talk about Denis Savard, one of the greatest hockey player in NHL. So don't go nowhere. Before we start talking about Denis Savard, let's invite you to subscribe to the Hockey Nation Live Show on the YouTube channel and, of course, on the Facebook page. Please, if you enjoyed this video, could you click on the likes and finally leave your comments. Tell us a little bit more about what do you remember of Denis Savard, one of the greatest center in NHL. So let's dive in and talking about Denis Savard. Here we go, Mr. Denis Savard. His nickname, it was Savy. He was born in Gatineau in Quebec on February 4th in 1961, turned 60 years old this year, to be honest with you. He played 3 years in the QM. During his time, he has 3 seasons, 116, 158, and 181 points. And that's complete his 214 game in the QM with 146 goals and, of course, 309 assists for a total of 455 points. Great career in the junior. At that moment, he was could be drafted during the year a draft of 1980. The first round pick was by the Montreal Canadiens. He was played in the backyards of Montreal Canadiens. The Canadiens decide at that moment to select, unfortunately, Doug Wickenheiser from the British Columbia and play in the WHL, skip over Denis Savard. The second selection was the Winnipeg Jets. They have a choice to get Savard. They go with Dave Babbage, where he have a pretty good, better career compared to Wickenheiser. And finally, at the third, the Chicago Blackhawks did not hesitate to select Denis Savard. The rest, guy, this is the history. We cannot mention more about one of the biggest mistakes for the Montreal Canadiens. I'm a French Canadian. I'm still upset about the fact Sam Polak jumped over Denis Savard and select Doug Wickenheiser. But let's talk a little bit more about Denis Savard. First of all, he was a draft, like I mentioned, third overall pick in 1980 by the Chicago Blackhawks. The center shooting on the right side. He was a 5'10", 175 pounds. During his first career, he played 76 games. He has 28 goals, 47 assists for a total of 75 points. During his first participation in the playoff, he had 3 games with 0 goals, 0 assists, and 0 points. During his second year, he started right away to show for the Blackhawks why they have the right pick. He was his first season with over 100 points and 80 games, 32 goals. But listen, 87 assists during the playoff, over 1 point per game, 18 points in 15 game, guy. 11 goals, almost 1 goal per game. Amazing, Savard. Then it was not good enough. He go a little bit farther. 121 points and 78 game and season 82-83. 17 points and 13 game. That's the reason what Montreal can shoot themselves, because Denis Savard, it was the real deal. Then in 83-84, dropped a little bit at 94 points. And 75 game, he have 4 points during the only 1 round with the Chicago Blackhawks. 1 goal, 3 assists in 5 games. 84-85 with the Blackhawks. He has, again, another season, third and 5th year in NHL, 105 points, 38 goals. He played, again, 15 game and playoff guy, 29 points and 15 game. Just show you what Savard was. For the Hawks, 85-86, 116 points again, and over 100, 47 goals, by the way, and then only 3 games in the playoff with 5 points, but 4 goals. 86-87 with the Hawks, 90 points and 70 games. Yeah, 40 goals. That was his second season with over 40 goals. for him. 4 game only with 1 point. And then in 87-88, he got for that 131 point, guys. One of the best season for him. Again, an 80 game, 44 goal and 87 assists during the playoff, 7.5 game. He reached for the third time, back-to-back 40 goal and plus. And 88, 89, 82 point and 58 game only. You have 59 assists during that season. And of course, you have 19 point and 16 game. One thing we don't know too much about Savard, he produced during the playoff. He was not worried about this. We know he was not a big player, but it was not matter. 60 game only, 89, 90. And he got 80 point at that moment. During that year, and 20 game playoff, 22 point again, over 1 point. And then big trade between Chicago and Montreal. After a mistake 10 years ago, did not select him, they trade for him, and they gave Chris Chelios. This turned around to be one of the worst trade in the NH for the Montreal Canadiens under history. After they did not select Savard, then now they trade for him, and you're going to realize he did not play long time with the Montreal Canadiens, only 3 years, and then Chelios become one of the best defensemen in NHL. OMG. And 1990 and 1991, first year with the Montreal Canadiens, Denis Savard at 59 point and 70 game. Was one of the first time during his career did not reach 1 point per game until his first year in NHL. 13 point, 13 game during the playoff. 91-92, second season with the Montreal Canadiens. Again, below 1 point per game. He has 70 point and 77 game. The playoff, again, performed to 12 point and 11 game. And then 92-93. That was the best season for him, not on the individual point, but I'm going to tell you the why. 50 point, 63 game. He have 5 point, 14 game. But, yes, that year with the Montreal Canadiens guy won the Stanley Cup is only one time he won the Stanley Cup, but great performance of Denis Savard with the Montreal Canadiens. And then, obviously, he was he signed as a UFA with the Tampa Bay Lightning. No, was straight to the Tampa Bay Lightning, 46 game and 74 game. That's what happened about him. And then after that, he got back to Chicago, finished his career for 3 more years, 94, 95. He played 43 game only with 25 points, but 18 point and 16 game. That's what you remember of Denis Savard. He played the playoff like amazing. He was a great hockey player during the playoff. And that's what, for me, he make a big difference for me during his career. 48 point and 69 game, guys, and 95, 96. 3 point only in 10 games. And finally, a last season in NHL, 1996, 1997, with the Chicago Blackhawks. He did not play a lot of games, 64 game with 27 points. This was the end of the end for Denis Savard. And 2 point only during 6 game playoff. During his career with the Chicago Blackhawks in 13 years, guys, Denis Savard, one of the best play for the organization, hockey club, the Chicago Blackhawks. Denis have 1,096 points and 881 game, 719 assists for 377 goals. Unbelievable we accomplished. And then 145 points over 131 game with 61 goals, 84 assists. That gives you an idea what Denis was for the Chicago. Then with the Montreal Canadiens in 3 years, he played 197 game, 179 point and 210 game. During the playoff, 40 point and 38 game. Again, he won the Stanley Cup with the Montreal Canadiens. With the Tampa Bay, he played, honestly, 1 year and a half, almost like 2 years with them. He did not play a lot of games for the Lightnings. He played 105 game with 63 point only, 24 goals and 39 assists. And he did not participate the playoff with the Tampa Bay. He has over 1,338 points. He has 1,196 game in NHL, and with a 473 goal and 865 assists during also playoff time, 175 point with 169 game. That was the result of Denis Savard statistically. And you cannot say Denis Savard is not a great player. One of the best players in my eyes during his career in NHL. He played 16 seasons, 13 with the Blackhawks, 9 times participate in NHL All-Star game. He has also won one time the Stanley Cup with the Habs. Captain for 27 game only interim. After that was Dick Graham. He was elected Hall of Fame in 2000 and also retired jersey by the Blackhawks in 1998 and March 19. Look, he was his transactions of his career. In 1990, he was traded from Chicago Blackhawks to the Montreal Canadiens for the second round draft pick. In 1991, Michael Pomichter was the selection, and Chris Chelios has won another bad trade for the Montreal Canadiens. Then he signed as a UFA. That's what I thought earlier. With the Tampa Bay Lightning in 1993 after he won the Stanley Cup. Finally, April 6, 1995, was traded back by the Tampa Bay to the Chicago Blackhawks for the 6th round draft pick. Became Xavier Delille, New Jersey. He also have a coach career of 3 years in NHL with the Chicago Blackhawks. He have a record of 147 game. He have a 66 W, 67 loss with a 16 tie for a save point percentage of .496. He's always become an idol, an icon for the Chicago Blackhawks. He served as now an ambassador for the Chicago Blackhawks at that moment. And here, I'm not going to talk about this, but that's what he accomplished in NHL. And you can see all the information. An amazing, great career for Denis Savard. So you can pause the video if you want to read more about this. That's the way I would suggest to do. But look, amazing career for the Denis Savard in NHL. I remember seeing him, the Spinorama. Remember why he was turning 360 with a puck. That's what the people are going to remember of Denis Savard for a long time. And for me, was one of my idol when I was watching the hockey. Whatever it was now, Montreal Canadiens for many years before he came here for the Montreal for 3 years. Denis Savard, he was always been one of my best players to watch night after night. So thanks again for watching another great video of the Hockey Nation Live show for the series called the NHL Flashback. But before we leave, we invite you, don't forget to subscribe to the Hockey Nation Live show on the YouTube channel and on Facebook page. And finally, if you enjoyed this video, please click on the likes. And of course, leave your comment. Tell us a little bit more what you remember of Denis Savard. So thanks again. And of course, we wish you an amazing, great day. Bonne journée, mes amis. On se reparle plus tard pour une autre vidéo de la série NHL Players Flashback.